Good morning, Friday live show.
Hello, hello, hello.
I just threw
Good
everybody off
morning,
like I said
guys.
before.
How is everything? Happy Friday. I'm glad I'm
Ooh.
back. I'm back in New York.
And you
Yeah.
know what it is today, guys. Today's Friday. We're starting with the
It's
new theme song, though.
oh
And
yeah.
that's only because of what our show entails today. All right. So before we get started, guys, oh man, we got to move ourselves. We're blocking it,
Yeah.
blocking it completely. So before we jump right into it, guys, welcome to this edition of Real Estate Unwrapped. It is the final countdown, and today we have, I'm going to introduce you guys first because Gigi got at me last time for doing this. So we're going to introduce the Gigi, who's been in the industry for 250 something years, and she has not aged once. All right, so Gigi,
it's I should
yourself.
start using the what is it called, the tapes. I've
The
seen
tape.
a tutorial on
Scotch tape.
yes, the tape thing. The
Yeah.
Scotch tape on
I
the
saw that in
face.
Bruce Almighty. It didn't work out too well. And we
Right.
have next to Gigi, we got our buddy Israel Martinez.
Hello, hello, folks.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hercules.
And I'm gonna just say that last but not least, right? Myself, I'm Ed. So guys, you know me. You can follow me on the gram. You can follow me on Facebook. Soon to be Meta. I hope you're getting your NFTs in so you can use your little gadgets in these virtual worlds. But guys, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Let me tune this down a little bit. And good morning to everybody. So we have a couple people saying good morning.
Yeah.
So Faith, good morning. Welcome back.
Oh, Faith, thank you for
tuning
being
in.
there. Yes.
Thank you so
and
much.
Thank you for bringing valued questions. We really enjoy that you are involved with us and that you want to learn and you really want to make it in this great industry, but it's not always obvious for everyone to get started. So really appreciate your questions and we really want you to just make it. Just go for it.
Definitely.
All right. All
Aaron,
right.
Thanks for
Aaron,
tuning in. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Ooh.
A lot of good mornings. Good morning. So
Yes.
thanks for
Good
tuning in,
morning.
everybody.
Thank
We're
you
actually
for
going to
tuning
be
in.
going over something very, very interesting today. So first of all, guys, it was a great talk. I know we're coming to the end of the year, and they always say it in the real estate industry, right? We're basically setting up for 2022. Everything that we do today, think about it. If you're putting in an offer, if you're closing deals out there, if you get something accepted today and it goes into contract, the banks literally take 30 to 45 days. And we're literally about 30 to 45 days away from the new year, right?
Right.
We're about not even almost 5 weeks
Right.
away.
So that's in
From the new
between
year.
30 to 45
It's-
days. Thanks for confirming that, Gigi.
It's amazing. Yes, I know 30 to 45 days. Yes, yeah. Yeah,
So
yes.
there's something that happens every year, and I know we've done that every single
The
time.
ball drops at
Besides
midnight.
the ball dropping, it's a new year, right? You get the
Right.
new year, new me, right? Everybody's putting that out there. New year, new me. So
Ah,
what we want to do is kind of give you guys a head start, okay? Because every year, and from my experience, we did that prior to being with our current brokerage. But every year we'd sit down and go through our business plans. And I've seen it happen a lot where you get a lot of new folks that have never done this before.
yeah,
So I told Gigi,
it gets foreign. It gets like business planning. It's like, but we want to put everybody in the mindset, and we always done it where this is a business that you're running. Let's not forget that. So you have to have the mindset of an entrepreneur. You are not an employee. This is your own business. You're an investor, entrepreneur, especially in the basically the brokerage model that we're in. So we have to have that in mind strongly. All right. So we have to set up our business plan like any entrepreneur investor would do. That's it. It's very simple. We
Yeah,
gotta
so-
wear a different hat.
so when we were talking about it this week, right, guys, we
Yeah.
were actually discussing where we've met at these meetings physically, and the good news is at the end of this, we're actually gonna let you guys know if you're
We're
looking
gonna
to
let you
set
in.
up,
Yeah.
let you in, I guess, on a little
Let
secret.
you in on
That's what we're doing.
something. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let you in on a little secret. So we're actually gonna be setting up some in-person classes where we're actually
We're gonna have a
to sit down.
workshop, multi-location,
There you go.
one workshop Everybody will do it the same day at the same time. We'll give the information at the end because we just want to go over like getting really ready to set up, prepare for your business plan. A lot
Mhm.
of the brokerage has is going to have something on Zoom, I believe. A lot of other brokerages have it done, but you need to get prepared of what you're going to need to look for, what you look for yourself, what you look for your business. So there is several steps to take.
100%.
Right.
Right.
Israel, do you want to say anything? Because I know we want to keep it simple. You guys, I want you to shut me down because I might get too complicated. I know I don't mind running, like getting too mathematical, but I know you guys are really like trying to say, okay, let's simplify, let's help everybody. Not everybody is a math person. So let's help everybody understanding this thing and what we need to do to get ready for next year, to set your mind to doubling your business, tripling your business if you need to, or if you want to, or if you're up to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and move on to the next slide. See what's
So before we do anything, and this is where that's a big one for me. Huge. What is your why? You're going to do first, you're going to all set up your business plan, your number and everything, but why do you do it? Why do you do what you do? What drives you? Why do you want to make the certain amount of money you need to make it next year, or what you ultimately would want to make? All right, realistically. The first thing is, what is your why? If you don't know what your why is, it's no good. If you're going to say, oh, I just want to be rich, I want to be a rich bitch. No, that doesn't work.
Did we get a bleep on that one?
Oh, no, this was French.
We were speaking French. My
Yes. So definitely, what is your why? And the
Now-
why has to be a strong enough why. You guys want to go into that and just talk about it, because then I'll go into myself because I'm struggling with my why.
Yeah. And what I'll say on this is a lot of folks that struggle with their why, I believe, my opinion, focus on the how too much.
No,
And at the end of the day, you
no,
can't. What?
no,
What do you mean no?
no. I'm
You're
going to
gonna
give you a
you're
5
gonna
second.
disagree with me?
I'm going to disagree
All
right
right, so
over
here
that.
it is. Here it is. My opinion. My opinion. Okay.
Yeah.
But a lot of people focus on the how too much, right? Like, how am I going to make this phone call? How am I going to reach out to the seller's agent? How am I going to do that without establishing a strong why? If there was a why behind it, you're not going to be worried about what the next person is going to say on the other line. I remember hearing a quote one time, okay, and it was about hunters, right? And as someone who's in sales, whether you're in real estate, whatever you do, but if you're in sales, let's be honest, we're constantly prospecting, or to others, we're hunting for business, right? So if you're hunting and you're in wild land and there's lions and rabbits and you're hunting lions, you're not going to focus so much on the rabbits that are coming by, right? You're not going to focus on them because you're hunting the lions. But if you're focusing on the rabbits, you now have to also watch your back with the lions. So what am I really getting at right there?
Yeah, because I'm getting confused. I'm seeing rabbits around lions.
Yeah. So this is me dumbing it down real quick. All right. So what am I getting at? You can't focus on the how to's is the rabbit. The how is the rabbit. The why is the lion. Your why has to be big enough. If you're focusing on the how, which is so small, like the size of the rabbit, you're not focusing on the lion, which is the why, which is why you're doing this. Why do I want to make these calls? Why do I want to be in real estate? Why do I want to make this money? Why do I want to make that commission? Why do I want to pick up the phone call and actually call a for sale by owner when he clearly says on his ad, do not call me if you're an agent? Why do I want to call that person?
Okay. I still think you need to dissect your why to really get down to the bottom of it. All right.
Well,
So
right.
your reasons have to be really, really I'm agreeing with you, and then I'll go into something else because I'm a middle-aged lady. I guess that's what it's called. Empty nester. So and I've been a single parent. So for many years, my why were my children. As a single parent, all you do is to ensure their survival, ensure their comfort. And then they fly out, they form their own families, they're gone. Let's not be mistaken. I love the game we're in. I love the hunt. I'll do it just for the hunt because it's fun. Because I get up in the morning. I'm excited to do business after 20 something years, just 26 years, whatever it is. It's a long time. And I'm still excited. I still love it. Yeah, you get frustrated. Yes, sometimes you'll fall apart. Yes, you get a little bit of heart palpitation. Things are like hanging by a thread. But overall, it is fun. I'm having great fun. But to have a strong why and say, oh, yes, I'm going to go into the 7 figures next year. Why? My kids are gone. I don't have the same drive as I did have 10 years ago when my kids were in college. You know? I'm like, now they're gone. I still want to have, and I'm like, I would want to help my brother, my sister overseas, but in the end, it's still ultimately, they got to take care of their own. They're all adults. They have their own families as well. They need to handle themselves. Yes, I would do, but that's not a strong enough why. So yes, I'm struggling with this, but I still love the game. And I would still do a business plan based on trying to just even further myself, push myself harder, just for the sake of the chase. And yes, my why is not that strong. And I'm sure a lot of people are in the same boat. If otherwise, I mean, I don't think I'm the only person on earth to not have a strong why.
Negative. I don't think you're the only one, Gigi.
But you guys were excellent, right? Excellent. I've seen you over the years that we know one another, where having that strong enough motivation. I'm going to wear my glasses because I wanted to read something. I've seen you guys over the years when you actually declared what you wanted to do, what the goal was, what the why was. Let me see. Am I stopping sharing? I'm stopping sharing, right? Yeah. What is that? I have a very strange noise.
Coming from your mic.
My mic? Okay.
Yeah, there is like a very strong noise. So I was saying, I mean, what do you want? What do you need to accomplish for your income goals? What motivates you? So that brings me back to Ed and Israel that were, I mean, when you guys set your goals and set your plan in place, you were actually freaking amazing, I think.
Well, thank you, Gigi.
No lie. Like, for instance, you guys had this whole setup of goals and then doing the action. Ed, was it a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, when you went to your Euro tour, right?
Yeah, correct.
And the minute you declared it, the minute that was put out into the universe, the minute you had a strong enough why, a strong enough plan, that just became reality, like really quickly. It just fell into part amazingly quickly. All right. And that was, to me, I was like, whoa, this is amazing. And then there is Israel. And I don't want to go too personal with him, but Israel declared that it was time to basically get engaged, get the ring, get engaged. And you know what? And of course, right before COVID, there was other plans that was there. But the fact that knowing where it's coming from on his personal life, where, yeah, it's easy to say, I'm going to get engaged. It's not always easy to get engaged. I am probably a big commitment phobe right now. I will not commit to a relationship personally right now. So
I'm on the other end of that spectrum. I'll commit, full throttle. Let's go. I'm team commit. That's how you do. That's how you do ish around here. Okay.
So I've seen like Israel declaring what he wanted to do, put the things in motion, and getting that rock, getting that thing, like, getting his fiancée engaged, getting the whole thing going with his personal life. And to me, those are things to marvel at, because it works. The plan worked because you declared it to the universe and you put the steps in place. And that for both of you, I admire you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I was
Appreciate
happy
you for
for
that.
you. This is, because, and of course, I'm not going to put all the components and stuff, but it's sometimes like you can say, oh yeah, you were going to get engaged, and then it never happened. It
Mhm.
doesn't happen. Nothing was that was supposed to be there was there. Or for you, for your Euro trip, because you had to take like a month out of your work schedule.
17 days.
17 days. Okay,
And they were worth it too.
right. But
Yeah,
it's
that felt
not
like a month.
like you guys just went all out. You didn't really skimp. You didn't take a tent. You
No.
didn't go hitchhiking. So you just went all out. And you made it possible to not make a dent into your daily life. I just wanted to say that all those things are possible, and
Yeah.
I'm really glad you are examples to me of what was you were able to accomplish in
Yeah.
such a short period of time once you declared it.
And
So
I
it's
just wanted to add something to that. And Gigi, I
yeah,
appreciate it, man. And thank you. Thanks for noticing. And I commend Israel for taking that initial leap, because it's not something minimal. People are like, oh,
yeah.
you should propose already. You should
No,
listen.
no, no,
There's a
no.
big
Yeah,
step that comes from
right,
that, but we'll save
right,
it for another conversation. That's another
right.
script.
Yeah, yeah.
But what I will add to that is 100% true, right? You write these things down and you put them in the forefront. And I'm going to say that Priscilla earlier this year had also done the same thing, put goals out there. And one of the goals that were on that list is that she said it. She was like, I want to buy a house. Like, I want us to get like a vacation home. You know what I mean? I didn't know how that was going to happen, where it was going to come from, how it was going to come. None of that. I didn't know. What did I do? Continue to reiterate it. Yeah, we're going to do it some way, somehow. I don't know how. Some way, somehow, we're going to get it done. Done deal, period. And sure
And
enough,
you actually getting a vacation home.
yeah, this past month we ended up closing on it in Connecticut. So now what? Well, now we have this beautiful riverfront property that we're going to be utilizing as an
I'm
Airbnb.
coming. I'm coming.
You're damn
I'm
right
coming.
you
I'm
are.
coming.
As soon as it hits, you guys will all know. You know what I mean? But that's what
Yeah.
falls in line with these things. So don't focus so much on the how. All
Yeah.
right. Don't focus on that. You have to figure out the why. It has to burn inside of you. It can't just feel slightly uncomfortable, right? It has to burn inside of you. You have to figure out what that why is and then
Yeah.
put it in front of you. Now, Faith asked the question before we continue on that, and I know we're going to go on to the next slide, but Faith was curious and said, can you build your why with education?
Absolutely, of course. Do you want
know,
you meaning like you want to get your PhD? Hell yeah. If this is
I
what you
mean,
want. Yes. 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 Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
is you want to
It's
tap on that?
anything personal,
Yeah.
anything. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, finish. Yeah, finish. Gigi.
I'm saying anything personal, anything spiritual. And we're gonna go into this a little bit. We're gonna dabble into this a little bit with the notion of the prophecy letter. All right.
So
Education, spiritual, personal
yeah,
life, finances. What am I missing? Wellness, health. All those different sectors of your life has to be touched. It has to be a well-rounded wheel. It's the wheel of life. We're not going to go into this, but that's another aspect as well. Right. So it has to be all. So the professional, financial, family, social, right? Social things, spiritual, health, and missing something. If
Health,
you guys
spirit,
remember it,
relationships. Did you say relationship?
what is a relationship?
What? Oh, okay. Moving along. Next slide.
yeah. So I mean, wait. Before we go to the next slide,
Yeah.
honestly,
Please,
for
Israel.
those who, we've actually touched base with a lot of things
Yeah.
in here, and if you're ever stuck on a why, not knowing what your why is, okay, always create a list for yourself of the top 10 things you want to do. Drop it down to 5, then top it to 3 things. Now, where am I going with this? In the sense that, and I'll break this down really quick for everyone, in the sense that don't think of financially how much it's worth. Don't think of financially how much it's going to cost you. Don't think that it'll take you, like if you want a Lamborghini tomorrow, don't think of time. Think of something that you really want, okay, to either do, get, or go to. And then once you start doing that, you write all 10 down, 5 down, whatever it is. Okay. Then start thinking about what's more tangible. out of those things. Once you start writing the tangible portions of those, then you start realizing what is considered a why, right? So, in other words, like if you all of a sudden say that you want to go to Fiji, that's something tangible, but you have to figure out, is it really tangible, right?
Right.
Is it something that I want to own Taj Mahal? Obviously,
Not.
it's not going to be that easy,
Right.
right? But the point is, that's an idea that you want. So if it's the idea of owning a big house like that, then put it in the universe, because at some point the universe is listening, right?
Declaration is
And that
important.
becomes your why.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
your why has to be a tangible situation, and if it's a top 3 things, then it works. And yes, you could use education. I think that when Ed and I were doing it, at one point we were saying that what book you're going to read or what situation
Oh
you're going to
yeah.
do. You know, always every month we made sure that we read either a book or we heard something to continue our education in the real estate world. So if you're speaking of that, that's actually a good thing to add on.
One of the whys that I had for this year was also to increase my reading, and I'm glad to say that I've been able to read a couple of books a month. I went back to next book. I'm reading also some French literature, some French political essays and stuff like that. And I really went back, and I'm so grateful also to the lockdown. I went back to a lot of the things that I really like to do as far as leisure, So this lockdown retaught me how to. I took a class, guys, on post-war abstract expressionism. Okay.
There you go.
Can you
From
repeat
the
that one more
museum.
time? I
There
have
you
no
go.
idea what you just said. You lost me. I'm not even gonna lie.
I was happy, like I was able to take a class, a certification on post-war abstract expressionism, which is a style of abstract painting, whether it's in America or Germany or Europe, whatever. I'm a little bit more of an expert in that. Maybe one day I'll work in an auction house or art auction house and be able to.
Whoa, this is a completely different side, Gigi. Interesting.
Yeah, but you know what? I this is where I come from. Prior to do real estate, I was dealing with art. I'm not saying I
Wow.
was an art dealer, but I used to sell art and stuff like that. So this is something that was pushed down all the way down in my being, and sometimes like the wish saying, okay, I would want to bring that back out just for the sake of making me happy. Like this is to feed that why, because once again, your kids are gone. It's hard to think of yourself. So that little piece of which probably is useless because I'm never going to be working at Sotheby's at an auction house and selling $57 million paintings. But it's you never know. You never know.
Listen, you can sell NFTs now.
I probably could art space, virtual art
Listen.
space on the yeah. You
I
know,
got
yeah,
my eye
yeah.
on some of these things, but
On the
and
real
it's,
estate space.
yeah, that there's some crazy things going
Yeah,
on in this
yeah,
world today.
yes.
But anywho, different topic. So to close it off, guys, ladies, everyone who is watching right now, new, seasoned, whatever the case is, what I find that helps is go in front of the mirror, look dead in your eyes, and say, hey, why am I really doing this? Why do I want to do that? Why do I want to be a real estate agent? What do I want to achieve out of this? And when you answer it, because it will happen, you're going to say, well, I saw on TV, right? They make a lot of money. Great.
Let's go deeper.
Why do you need that money? Oh, now you start feeling a little twitch in your heart. Like, ooh, why do I really need that money? Well, I'd like to pay off some of this debt. Why do you want to clear that debt?
Because I need to
it's
have
a huge financial burden, and it'll probably make me a lot happier if I cleared that debt. Oh, so you see, now we're getting to it. So it's not just saying, hey, it's this thing. No, break it down. The more you ask yourself, and if you're doing it in front of a mirror,
do like a 4-year-old. Keep on asking why. Yeah.
Yep. You know how you know you're getting to it? You start to feel that little itch in your heart.
When you cry.
That's why. That too. See, I wasn't gonna say the tear part, but it's happened. See, Gigi knows what I'm talking about. I'm telling you, stand in front of the mirror and ask yourself why. That'll
keep on asking why, like a 4-year-old. Keep going. Yeah. This
when you feel the twitch in the heart, keep going. When you start crying, you've gone far enough.
Let's move
There's
on.
A lot of good books you can read on that.
Oh yeah,
100%. Awesome.
Yeah. So we were talking about the goals, and like there is something. Am I on the other I'm on the next slide? Yes. So
Yes.
you could use the SMART goals. SMART using the acronym of, SMART as S as in you want your goals to be specific. So breaking it down was like a really good way. What do you want to do? All right. Then the M letter was for measurable, which is how will you know when you achieve this goal? Again, by breaking it down, it's like when I make that much money by doing this, I'll know I'll have, you're able to measure. And again, with running your numbers and knowing what to do to get those numbers. Achievable. Is it in your power to accomplish it? Like same thing if you say, I want to buy the Taj Mahal. Is it in your power to buy that right now? And then that's going to go with the R letter, realistic. Can you realistically achieve it? Like right now, if you're gonna say, if you just got your license 2 months ago, and you say, yeah, I want to be making a 7-figure income, baby, it's not happening. You don't have the tools, you don't have the knowledge yet, unless you got a rich daddy, but otherwise it's not happening.
Or
all right,
or a rich mommy. Just throwing it out
and
there.
T, timely. When exactly do you want to accomplish it? Like you are got to give yourself a time frame. So those are like really important tools to have. So remember the acronym SMART: specific, measurable, achievable or attainable, realistic, and timely. So super important. And when you go into, those business planning workshop, this should come out quite often. You might hear, people trying to remind you to use this acronym to actually set your goals, right? So that's a good one. And so there was something that Israel brought in when we were preparing this segment, and it was quite interesting because I'm usually like or I'm like, hey, what is the letter? It's like, it's like, hey, let's write the gratitude journal. I'm not like this, and I don't want to make fun of anybody that is, but I'm like, I'm not really into this whole thing, and I'm not saying anybody that does is hoo-ha and like hugging trees and kissing moths, but it's Israel brought in the prophecy letter, which I had heard of, and I went back into listening to it and reading more into it. And actually, Matthew Ferry is somebody who is teaching how to write a prophecy letter. And is Matthew Ferry, correct me if I'm wrong, Israel, has this blog or vlog called The Spiritual Hooligans.
Yeah.
So and correct me if I'm wrong again. So the prophecy letter is a very simple notion. You write a letter to yourself, like
Well, it's simple
today.
and complex. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I felt it was kind of simple in the sense that it is that declaration that we've been talking about,
Right.
of what you guys did. You guys word it out, and you also put it on paper.
So it's more like a deck, like you're claiming it. You're claiming it out loud, and you're writing it down on paper.
You're writing it down. So this is the genesis. This is the creation.
Exactly.
Yes.
So pretty much it's like a Back to the Future kind of situation.
Right.
So you're writing something that you want to declare, what you want to do this year, but you're writing it as though you're reading it.
So this is you're gonna write a letter. Like today, we're on November. What are we? 19.
19.
So you're gonna write a letter dated November 19, 2022.
Correct.
And today I'm sitting.
And you're going to say, today, November 19, I'm sitting down and I'm writing this letter. And I just want to go back over what went over last year. Like over the course of last year, like this whole past year, 2022. In 2022, I've been able to accomplish this. I've been, I've lost like the last 20 pounds I wanna lose. I cut off my hair. I took the vacation to Fiji, and you go on to the different areas of the things
that you
It's
want to
right now
accomplish.
of the things you want to
So
do in the future. Right.
right. So think of it this way, in the sense of, man, Israel, I can't believe we're here already. You
Mm-hmm.
know, enjoying ourselves, a nice little cigar
Mm,
on the beach,
mm.
now with my wife, okay,
Hey.
and enjoying a pina colada. And I can't believe what kind of year we actually had. The kind of
Right.
year we had, we actually closed out 25 lists or 25
Deals.
closings
Yeah.
deals. You know, the kind of
Yeah.
year we had this year, it was amazing because you lost 25 pounds,
Yeah.
right? And you actually now not only own one property, but you own two.
Two.
Man,
Yeah.
what an amazing year you're having so far.
And
Okay.
you can go into
And
every
that's top
single
up.
area of yourself,
Right.
like even your spiritual life, even your leisure life, your wellness, your being. Say, I'm going to drop my cholesterol. I don't have cholesterol, but I want to drop my cholesterol. I want to, I want to take on, or like even write down, wow, I am so proud that I've been able to go to the gym 3 times without fail. Declare it.
Yeah. It's all about
Write
the
the
declaration.
letter in the present, date it for next year, and write what you are accomplishing next year as if it was happening right now,
And seal it and wait for it
and
to share.
seal it. Yes.
And then mail it out to yourself, and then
No.
don't open it until that day.
No. Yeah.
No, I mean, I had mine on the safe. Actually, I just did mine last night, so it's the same thing.
Nice.
Oh, you did.
So,
That's amazing.
so
Yeah.
it's actually, I paraphrase a lot of things what I just said right now, but the point is,
Oh, you
it's
spoke it out loud. You put it out there into the
I
universe.
put it out there. Look,
Nice.
it happens.
Good, man.
Hopefully, it's going to happen,
will
and it will happen because I'm actually, focusing on it. So my point is,
I don't want to sound like one of those spiritual thing, but once there was the word,
I'm
right?
sorry, come again?
Eh?
Once there was the word. The word is basically the essence of creation. Once you
Oh,
bring it out,
the word.
you
Once there was
talk.
the word. Oh,
Yes.
I was about to start saying, what's that song? Ba, 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 bird. The bird is the word. I said the bird.
Okay. All right. And then this is when I wanted to be a little bit more spiritual. Like all the scriptures talk about the word, like like God spoke, and there it was. So it's
Ah,
the same principle.
right.
100%.
Our basically our fiber of little God self. We
Listen, you
can
know
create. We
the
can.
oldest success principle book that is out there is actually the Bible.
Of course.
A lot of what you read in there is success principles. But again,
Yes.
we don't want to get too touchy on this
No.
because
Of course.
I mean,
we
the
believe that
five. Let's
whatever
go
you
with
believe
right.
in that makes you happy makes us happy. So
Right.
The ancient testament, the 5 books of Moses. If you're going to go in
yeah,
Judaism, those are basically a great guide to life.
mhm,
Same. You have some other scriptures in the
yeah,
Quran, very very instrumental as well. Everything is pretty much in
If
correlated,
Yep.
yeah,
but you can use a scripture as a
Yeah.
guideline. I think it's pretty
correct.
cool as well. Yeah.
And if you want to really get into the prophecy letter again, just for yourself, just really look into it. Google it.
Yeah.
You'll
Google
find a lot of links from like
Matthew
math.
Ferry. Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
from Matthew Ferry. You'll Google a lot of information, and don't deep dive too much. But the point is, the premises is really this: is once you have goals in mind that you have, then you
Mhm.
move forward to the sense of you writing yourself sort of like Back to the Future letter in the sense of what you want to accomplish this year. But the way it's written is that you've already accomplished it.
Yeah.
So that's the best way of putting it. So
Right.
Speak it into
Yeah.
existence.
yep,
Oh,
Speak
yeah,
it.
definitely.
Speak it as if it were.
there you go, my friend.
Once there was the word, and then of course you have to put this action plan, and this is where you're gonna have to roll up your sleeve
Mm.
and get to work, because with no plan there is obviously no action, right?
So this right here,
So
I
that's
guess,
where it
would the
gets
action
dicey.
plan fall into the how part at this point?
Yeah, and this is when, unfortunately, for those who don't like it, you need math. Unfortunately, the math is 4th grade level. So if you went to grammar
Fortunate.
school, dust off your math, your math books a little
Maybe
bit.
third grade. Third
Well,
grade, I think. Third grade.
Uh,
yes and
yeah,
no. I mean, honestly, wait. Action plan doesn't only have to be with math, right?
no, but it's
It can
also
also be
taking
time.
steps, yes,
Think
and
about it this
things.
way. It could also be time. Because you can always say that I want to, basically make sure that every week I contact this amount of people,
Yeah.
right? So,
In our industry. Yeah.
right, or say I want this amount of listings in this kind of week.
For
Those are
the
kind of
for the
action
yeah.
plans.
Yeah.
Or set up this kind of amount of social media.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
So
math,
we're going to talk today about action plan for the real estate professional.
Hmm.
You can incorporate in that things you want to do for all the different areas of your life, family, friends, again, leisure, spiritual, money wise, all that. But money sometimes is correlated to the profession, but otherwise investments and all this. So you can, but we're gonna just zone in on that professional area that we're in, which is real estate.
Yeah.
All right. So you're gonna need to know. I think to me the action plan is also taking a look at what I'm not that great at and what I may need next year in order to achieve that. So let's say I'm in real estate
Hmm.
and I want to double my income. I'm going to bring that thing to $500,000, like easy. And in order for me to do this, you need to be a super strong listing agent. So I would, as far as my action plan, I'm like, I definitely need a coach. I definitely need to take some extra classes. I need to take those listing boot camps. I need to incorporate that, to know like I want to be much better. If I just stay the way I am, it's not gonna go, it's not gonna work. So I need to incorporate in my life that, again, that's education, where I'm gonna need to build up my skill to the max, right? So
100%.
that's one area. So once you have that in place, that's going to give me the tools then to be able to accomplish the numbers that I need. So and that's why it's the action plan with the different things you need to accomplish. Then I would also add, we have only 24 hours hours in a day. I need to sleep 8 hours. Would be, like that sleeping time, whether I'm in bed reading and stuff, is that's 8 hours I'm not going to touch. Whether I'm going to do like, half an hour to just stretch and look at my emails, or just, my prayers, or anything you want to do. So that I won't touch. So I will also look at my schedule and make sure I'm going to say, here, this is for the year, I'm going to need to accomplish this. Oh, but I have a family, the kids have the school, there is the holidays here, we need to go see my mother on that date. So I'll put in my schedule and narrow down. And if you want to have those holidays, put them in your calendar. We're not going to go on the, on the time scheduling, but it has to be a part of it. You guys agree with me?
yeah.
You're going to have to definitely set your time, and then you're shrinking down from your yearly to your monthly to your weekly, and then your daily schedule. You guys were like actually partnering up as far as having a daily schedule
Right.
to work on your action plan. Do you want to work? Do you want to talk about that a little bit, of what you did, or
So
how you
what
dissected your
I'll
schedule? Yeah.
what I'll add to this outside of that is, because what Gigi's touching on is time management. So in a nutshell, what goes into what,
Yes, but it's
what
all
go,
interrelated, because you
correct,
have to
correct.
manage your
I'm not saying
time, to
it's not.
manage your,
I'm
yeah.
just saying that falls into the action plan, right? Like, aside from, okay, I got to put these steps in and I got to make phone calls and start to calculate these things, you're now managing your schedule. So what Israel and I were doing, which was a huge part of it, we always met up in the office at that time, pre-COVID. So everything was in the office. We met up at the same time, even though we were independent contractors, and even though all agents are independent contractors, for us, we still set a schedule in place.
So
So the
you
biggest
had
key
this
right there.
brilliant thing of being accountability partner. So if you
Mhm.
can get somebody to help you with, reaching your goal, they're not going to be there holding your hand and do stuff for you, but you're going to be accountable to them as far as the action steps you're taking to reach that goal. And this is what what Ed and Israel were doing, which was absolutely brilliant, because again, they committed to doing this, to one another. Like, I got your back, you got my back, but we're gonna have to, you're gonna have to answer to me. And this is brilliant, because I have not done that in years with anybody. It's like I want to fly solo, and it takes guts to say, "Here, I'm going to take an accountability partner." My hats
Correct.
off to you guys
Thank you.
again.
I mean, any solo act or any
Yeah,
team, I think, always needs an accountability partner, right? Regardless of who you're with, who you're not with, whether it's life, whether it's work. And I think what made us is that again we kept speaking every week, making sure that we were hitting our numbers, doing our things that we needed to do. Accountability partners don't need to be one person; could be an entire team. But
a
the
group.
thing to
Yeah,
understand is that you know, as long as you're all of you are focused on that same number or the same situation and not letting that other person sort of fade out, then it's going to be a workable situation. You always want to make sure that person, like, if it's working out, let's just say you're working out and then all of a sudden that person can't do 5 push-ups, push them to get to that 5th push-up, push them to get to that next level, that they're able to get to where they need to go. Because
because you're pushing
if
yourself
you're
too.
right, if you're fading, they're going to fade with you, and it's a vice versa situation. So you
Yeah,
help me, I help you, positive and negative every
Yeah.
single time. So that's the thing with accountability. Now, I just want to add also with the action plan is when you're doing your action plan throughout the course of your year, these are 4 questions I usually go with.
mm,
And it's really things like, what's working, what's not working, what should I do, and pretty much what I need to do or what I have to do,
Mhm.
right? If I answer those 4 questions throughout the course of my week plan or my monthly plan or my yearly plan, then I know that I'm doing a base number or I'm doing above or negative behind that. So that's something to think about while you're doing your action plan.
right,
Yeah.
right,
Okay.
right. So, anything to add? Anybody wants to add anything to this?
No, I think as we go into it, and Gigi, if you could just kind of skip over to the next slide, where it
Yeah,
really comes down to it is the good thing is that this business is something that's trackable. All
Right.
right. So you
Very
can
much so.
literally go through the numbers and you can figure out what's going on. And if you want to make more money, chances are you're going to have to increase productivity.
That's
If you
right.
want to make less money, then you decrease productivity,
right,
but it's all trackable. So
right.
if you're sitting there like, oh man, what's going on? I'm out there and doing this. And let me tell you something, folks, being a real estate agent, you can be out there doing a lot. But as we were talking about it earlier this week,
It'll be a lot
there's
of nothing
there's
too.
exactly there's things that you can do that are going to be productive, that are going to be money driven, income producing activities, or there's going to be things that you're just going to be saying, hey, I'm running around doing all this stuff, but they're really not generating any income or they're not a income producing activity. You know
Right.
what I mean? So this is a place where I feel a lot of us kind of lose track. And we've done these not we as far as Israel and myself and Gigi, I'm
As a
saying
team, yeah,
as a
a whole
team, as our
team
brokerage,
organization.
they've done these trainings every single year. And this is a part that for me, I feel that a lot of people kind of lose sight. All right. In this scenario, what is the one thing that everybody always thinks about? And it's actually the first thing, in my opinion, that people think about when they're trying to do real estate, right?
Right.
They saw a show on TV. Oh my God, $1 million listing in New York. These people are closing these deals and the potential commission is $500,000. Oh my God, I want to be a real estate agent. So,
Right.
what's the biggest thing, right? You want to make that money? You can. It's not impossible. It's definitely not impossible. Is it going to take some time? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you going to have to craft your skills? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But guess what? It's trackable. And this tool right here can easily break down those numbers. So if you're trying to make $300,000 a year, we can literally show you how to make that. If you're just trying to make $100,000 a year, the numbers will show you that. If you're just trying to
Right.
make an extra
So yeah, so
$5,000,
we're not gonna
same
dwell
concept.
on this because we're
We're
pretty
not.
much getting towards the end of the show.
Yes, we are.
Yes, but it's to give you an idea, a main idea, and we will have the workshop and we'll give you the date and time at the end. So you got to stick to the end. So basically, like over the years, I've been hosting a lot of those business planning workshops, and the average number that I've seen for agents was like everybody pretty much wants to more or less reach $100,000 in earning goals when they knew. All
Correct.
right. And so we were discussing an average commission of a $10,000, and after 80-20 split, $8,000, if it's your 70-30, obviously it would be a $7,000 split. And we were talking about that would make about 13 transactions or sides when you have a $10,000 commission. If you're going to deal with co-ops, you may need a little bit more transactions than that.
So here's what I would say to that, if you don't mind, Gigi, to add to it.
Yeah.
If your goal is 100K, fantastic. These numbers will help you calculate that. But at the end of the day, everything can be different, right? You can cut this in half if it feels like it's more achievable.
Double it.
You can lower it, but only you would know what your average commission is.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you're new, and Israel was actually mentioned this earlier, and kudos to you, Israel. But I believe that's true. If you're a brand new agent, you just got licensed, and you're like, yeah, I just got in the field, I really don't know what my capability is. What you should shoot for and thrive for is to try to double your income of what you were making previously at your either last job or whatever it was that you were doing prior to getting your real estate license. Just say, hey, you know what? If I can try to either hit that number or double it, that's what I want my goal to be. You know what I mean? And Israel said, hey, that would be a good starting point. And I agree. That would be a good starting point. If you can try to make the same exact money, if not double it, from what you were making at your job and now as an independent contractor, trust me, you would be a lot more happier.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason why you join real estate, right? I mean, you're not in the real estate to make the same amount that you were making before. So think of it this way. I mean, you said the financial freedom. You actually double what you're supposed to be making, or you in your 9-to-5 job, whatever job you made. And imagine what you can do now, double that money. What can you buy with that? What kind of financial freedoms would you have by making double? So
I guess it's a great starting point, to try to figure it out. Let's say you come from a job where you were making $45,000 a year, working in some administrative, desk job. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It's really attainable. It's really doable, reachable. It's reasonable as well. So yeah, it's a good starting point. It's really really good. Yeah. And then do you go, because we don't necessarily agree, because we have these slides that we put together with a lot of numbers, and there is a formula, and we don't want to scare anybody, but you need sometimes to break down the number from the goal you want to reach, the number of transactions you need to have in order to get those transactions, the number of appointments you need to get. It has to be there. And I'm like, just so you guys know,
just so everybody knows. Hold on, Israel. Just before you go, hold on. Just so you guys know, before this show even started today, we were going back and forth about this last slide. I just want everybody to know why this is happening. We were literally going back and forth whether or not we should go through it. It's a whole lot of information.
Should we put like the shining music? It's like, we don't want to scare anybody. There is a lot of numbers. We're not going to dwell on it.
Let me give a quick back.
Perfect example. Go ahead, Israel. Finish up and I'll go through that.
It's easier this way in the sense that I'm very analytical. I'm always about numbers. I'm always about making things simplistic. If I can simplify something, like if I can simplify why 5 times 5 in an additional way of looking at it, I will simplify it, right? So really, what I'm trying, when this next slide,
there's no way to simplify it.
I'm going to do this right here. Can y'all see this? Okay. All right. When I saw it, I understood it. I know it. But as a new agent, I felt for you guys. Okay. So this is why we kept going back and forth. So the one thing to understand, I think Eddie just said it, or Gigi said it as well, is how many X does it take to get Y? How many Y does it take to get Z? Okay. Just keep that in mind. How many X does it take to get Y, and how many Y does it take to get Z?
We're not going to dwell on it. And here it is.
Here's the Einstein. Oh, Jesus Lord.
Jesus Christ. Hold on. Before we even touch on that, we had a comment here. Okay. So let's do this. Here we go. So it is totally confusing at this initial stage, not knowing where to start from. So much information coming right and left. Yes. We agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
It is a lot of information. I told Gigi specifically, I said, Gigi, if you read through this slide right here, I can almost guarantee you everybody watching is going to get
But you
lost.
see, yes, because I'm so probably I'm not analytical. I learned to have more analytical fiber in me. So this is something that is acquired, not that I enjoy it, but it's so because it's acquired, I am more comfortable with it over the years, and I don't
Mhm.
mind breaking down the numbers, and it makes sense. I'm still like a very I'm a D type of person, like from A to Z. So this is okay. Like this is a step, first step, boom,
All
boom,
right.
boom, boom, boom. Like, okay, fine, that makes sense.
So
So
we have
it's
nine
not,
minutes.
yes.
Let's try to explain this one.
So we're
So here,
just
hold on,
gonna
hold on,
break
hold on, hold
down.
on. I
We're
think,
not gonna go over the
can I
numbers. We
try?
just
Can I try? Let's do this more like a dialogue. Okay. We're
yes,
going to try to break this down more like a dialogue. So here's the
exactly.
dialogue. All right.
Okay.
Where the F did we get these numbers from? I'm going to tell you right now. We're using the core of $100,000, right?
Right,
Everybody's saying, hey, hypothetically speaking, I got into real estate this year. My goal is to make
right,
$100,000 next year. The average commission is about $10,000,
yeah,
$10,000 per transaction. That's what Gigi you had on the
right,
last slide. Are we
right.
correct with that?
Yes, yes. And then
So
we said, yeah,
this
in
is where
order
those
to,
numbers are coming from.
yeah, and then we said the key to success in real estate is really getting listings. So let's go all about, not 100% about it, but let's have like 60% of your business being listings. And let's focus on the listings, because buyer sales you can get from, like basically like the leads from Zillow, from advertising listings, and so on, so
Yeah.
forth. But getting the listing is is really like it takes a lot, but this is really where you're making the most money because you have more control.
Yeah.
So in order to get $100,000, 60% of your business being listings would mean that you need to get at 8 listings and 5 buyer sales, right?
So
This is the conversation we
hold
have.
on. All right. So that's where we're at. 8
Yeah,
listings, 5 buyers. Where the
yeah,
F did we get that number from? Again, we broke down the 100K, 10K average commission, which totaled out to
yeah,
13 transactions. So this is 13 transactions. Out of the
right.
13 transactions,
Out of
8 of
eight.
those transactions are from listings that you have, and 5 of those
Yeah, so you're
transactions are
gonna
just
have you're
buyers.
gonna focus a little bit more on listings because this is where you may have the opportunity to double end and ultimately, get more control and get more, from one listing, get another listing. So
Now,
we're
hold
not
on.
gonna say
I'm sorry.
100%. Yeah,
So
7
one more
minutes.
thing. I just want to be clear on this other part.
yeah,
These are all hypotheticals. Does it
yeah.
have to be a 60-40? Sometimes I'll tell you right now, as a new agent, you'll be working more with buyers. Probably you'll feel more
Right.
comfortable with buyers, which is okay.
Sure,
There's
but
nothing wrong with that.
you don't want to make yourself comfortable. When
You
we talked
don't.
about doubling your income, let's not even go with the comfortable. Let's go with the uncomfortable. And then we didn't even go crazy because we still gave it a
This
60
looks
40
pretty
year.
crazy already.
No, it's not. Let's go say, hey, you really want to make some money? Let's get the mindset. It's like, I need to get my hands on some listings.
All right, let's do this.
Ideally, let's get 60% of my business with listings and the rest buyer sales. That means I need 8 listings this year, 5 buyer sales. That's 13 deals. The 13 deals we talked about before,
There it
right?
is.
There it is.
Approximate 13 transactions or
So
size.
now, okay, let's just go simple on the listing because we're just, as far as prospecting, this is the hardest thing to get. So we had that formula that says, you know what? We know, like, on an average in the industry, and this is not something you will make up, but this is every 5 listings that you take on an average in the industry, and I'm not saying particularly my business or Ed's or Israel's business, every 5 listings that you take, you sell 4. Sometimes one will get expired, the contract will get canceled, the owner will change their mind. So if you wanted to sell those 8 listings, you will have to take 10 listings.
And
Because, yes, we need
you're
8
taking 10
listings.
just to play it safe so
Yeah,
that
to
you can
play
have
it
those
safe.
8 transactions at least.
Yeah. Yeah. So you want to give like yourself a cushioning. All right. So this is as simple as we want to say. So now we want to break it down. Like, how do we get those listings?
Hold on a second, Israel. How we doing so far?
Honestly, it's God. I know where these numbers are coming from, but God,
I just want to make sure we have these little breaks in between and
so
just kind of bring it back together.
I can't.
Don't let your
I can't.
eyes glaze over.
We'll be here all day then.
Oh, no.
No.
We're almost
So,
done.
my thing, 8 listings. The way I've been coached several times, it's always multiplying by 2. So you need to have 16 listings in order to get 8, because for every 2 listings you go to, you may get 1, right? So if you get 1 listing out of the 8, that means you get 8 listings. So
on this one, but you guys remember we switched those numbers because we said we have a big audience of newbies. So let's go really like with not very good results when you're just dabbling on the first 2 years. We said let's go on every 3 listing appointments we go on to. And I made a spelling mistake. I forgot an S.
It's okay. Well, you know what I just realized? I'm gonna make a joke out of this because I think this is what we were talking about. we lost a lot of viewers.
That's my point.
Well,
so I think, look, this can be complicated.
Yeah.
I think what we should do is, if anything, it'll probably make more sense to really break it down in person.
You need to break it down in person because those are like average numbers. Yes.
Look, these numbers are obviously as good as they look. I get it. Look, you go to every 3 listings appointments, you take 1. According to this, every 3 you go to, you take 1. That means that for 10 listings, you need to have 30 listing appointments.
Right.
How to get 30 listing appointments? Well, ladies and gentlemen, for every 10 leads, pretty much every 10 leads you generate, you get an appointment. That means you will need 300 leads. No, my Lord. Now, how do you get these 300 leads? For every 12 you talk to,
you got to talk to people. Oh, my God.
Leads. You need 3,600 contacts. On average, you will take 4 weeks vacation per year, which is true. Even though I didn't take one this year, but which is true.
No, but you have holidays and stuff like that. So
I don't even include those.
It's about 1 month.
You know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say I commend all of you for actually trying to pay attention to what we're saying, and I commend Gigi and Israel for trying to break it down even easier and more of a third grade level. But what I will say is we have questions, we have comments, and I think people really want to do more of the in class. So the good news
you're
is
gonna need the class. You absolutely need the class.
We're actually doing an in class, I guess, workshop to put together.
Yes, we are.
Your results. So what we really wanted to do was this, because the same thing that happened today, all right, has happened at the workshop. Will happen again. So we're trying to prevent it from happening again at the workshop. Will it happen? Who knows? But at the end of the day,
keep in mind,
the key.
Absolutely, and keep in mind, look, you're going to go into this workshop. It's going to be informative. It's going to be a lot of information, of numbers, of things to do, psychological, all this other stuff. Just keep in mind one thing. You're in real estate. The ticker says right there at the bottom, what is your why? What is your why to why you're doing this? Create that why, create that urgency, create that goal. And then once you have that, that's going to be the first part of this entire plan workshop. Right. So you're going to have lots of fun right after that.
You guys need to actually check your Alliance Movement Facebook private page. Okay, you need to stay tuned, stay plugged in. So December 9th, we're going to have the workshop in different locations, same day, different location. I'll be hosting the workshop in Forest Hills. So please come over.
Nice.
Because it's saying that we're having a problem with Facebook. Okay.
Trouble streaming to Facebook may issue Facebook's and is possible.
I don't know, but let's see. Maybe not. All right.
Interesting.
So we'll be in Forest Hills, and we'll have a location in Elmont. Elena in
it's Brooklyn,
Lynbrook.
In Lynbrook we'll do it, and I believe we'll have also in Brooklyn with the Arm Key team.
Yeah.
All right.
So I don't know why it said it ended. That was weird.
Still
But
No.
says live
hold
here.
on, before we even end, because there were a lot of questions and comments that came in, and I want to make sure we answer this. So
All right.
hold on, Israel. I don't want to block Israel. Here we go. You
Okay.
know what? Let's take this off.
There you go.
So this was a question: where does one start from, especially coming from a typical 9 to 5 job? I think the best way to answer that question is please do attend the workshop on December 9th. We're going to be hosting it in Forest Hills. Gigi's hosting the one in Forest Hills. I don't know who's hosting the one in Elmont, and then there's Elena that's hosting the one in
I think
Lynbrook.
Athena will hold
Athena's
in. Will
hosting it.
hold. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Athena's hosting the one in Elmont. But if you can share, Gigi, Israel, what would you say, simple terms, coming from a typical 9 to 5 job, where does one start?
On the phones.
As far as getting to get started with your business, many things. Start talking to anybody you know, anybody that is in your sphere, what we call your sphere, anybody that knows you by your first name. When they see
Mhm.
you, they actually they don't say, "Oh, what's your name again?" No, I mean somebody can say, "Hey, Israel, how you doing?" It's like those talk to those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The lady you go to your supermarket that's the same cashier for the last 25 years, she should know you by now. All
Yeah.
right.
I agree. Don't be a
Yeah.
secret agent. Just pretty
Right.
much.
So unfortunately, we're gonna have to end. Come on December 9 at our workshop. We're gonna get the flyer out. We're gonna get everything out. We just wanted to give you an overview how to get ready for your business planning. I don't know what happened to our Facebook Alliance Movement stream. Something happened. They just
Got
stopped it.
disconnected.
I don't know if we said anything wrong. Maybe it was my
No,
fault. It's always my fault.
I
I
doubt
don't
it.
know. Yeah.
Well, hold on, Gigi.
Wait.
Don't just cut it off real quick because I know it's a recording and I know we're going to
Yeah.
share it. And there was another question too.
Yeah.
So real quick, is it possible to have a one-on-one training? Yes,
Absolutely.
it is. You can reach out to Gigi. You can reach out to Israel. Or you can reach out to myself. But again, we're doing another training December 9th in person.
The 9 is
Forest
going to be
Hills.
in person, and we're able to go one on one with you.
Correct.
Yeah.
And we can sit
Definitely.
down and
Yeah.
dissect it a little better.
Right.
You guys are so funny. Thank you. We appreciate it.
All right.
Can't
Final
wait to
countdown.
go
Where's
in
the
person.
music? Where's the final countdown
Oh,
music?
wait. No. We got to go back to Friday.
Oh,
Yeah, it's Friday, I think.
So that's right. Can't read these comments without some good music. So hey, thanks again. We can't
Absolutely.
wait to see you at the in-person training. I know so many questions. I'm glad we got to it. We don't know what happened to the StreamYard video. We have no idea. It's okay. We're back. Okay, cool. Thanks. I'm just reading through these. This is fun. No, it just stopped. We don't know
all
what
right.
happened either, but we're here.
I
But we're
know.
glad that we helped.
We'll put the link from the from YouTube so you guys can have it.
Absolutely.
All right. All
Absolutely.
right. Until
We look
next
forward to it.
next Friday. Next Friday we'll do our gratitude segment. Very
That's gonna be
important.
fun.
And
Black
don't forget,
Friday.
next week is Thanksgiving. There's Black Friday. We're gonna have a special episode for you guys. I think it's gonna be more of a
Gratitude.
friends
Yes.
Thanksgiving video
Yeah.
stream. Maybe we can get some people to tune in, past guests, show some appreciation. But I don't know. We're gonna have to talk about it.
Yep. We'll get it going.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Take care, everybody. Have a good
Bye-bye.
weekend.
Bye.